Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 100th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Now for this 100th one, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I was trying to think of something that we could do that when you watch this game it kind of make you remember that it was a Brotherhood's 100th. And I've been really thinking about it all week. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put something on that I haven't done before, and that's a 1v1. Those of you that's watched the other 99 battle videos will know that I've never put a 1v1 on, so I thought I'd do that for something a bit different. But this is not just an ordinary 1v1, this is kind of a special one, and potentially could be the oldest Rome Total War game on YouTube. This is a 1v1 fought back either in the beginning of 2005 or the end of 2004. It's that old. And here we are. If you look at the list of save games I've got here, this game was supplied to me at the beginning of the year by Brotherhood member Kendi, and this is the battle it is. Now when you see, you can see the date there. It was supplied to me at the beginning of the year, and this is, as I say, a 9 or 10-year-old game. And there you go. If you press play now, can you see that what's come up there? It said this is a different version of the game from what we play now, and that's because this game was played and saved before any patches were put onto the original Rome Total War game. That's how old this game is. So as I said, it could be 9 or maybe even 10 years old, and as I said, it could be possibly the oldest Rome Total War YouTube battle. So be interesting to see how Kendi did maybe 10 years ago on Rome Total War. And just while we're waiting for the game to load up, just to say that Kendi was in the Elitsa clan when he played this game, and that goes to show how many years ago that was, because that is an extremely old clan right from the very early days of Rome Total War. And there we are. I just paused the game here. Those of you who might not recognise this map, this is a Macedonian ruins map. Not a lot of people play on it these days because it's so hilly. I would say it's probably one of the hillier maps that you can get. And you can see there's kind of a watchtower in the middle of the battlefield there. And it's got it's got lots of hills, but one massive hill. And looking closer at Kendi's units, as you know, Kendi is in the Brotherhood now, you can see that his units are fully upgraded. So this would be a game, my guess is, for maximum money, or at least 100,000, I would think probably maximum money there, as all his units are fully upgraded there. You can see if you count the banners on each unit, you'll see there's 9 banners, so that's 3 stripes, 3 gold attack and 3 defense, so that means that each unit is fully upgraded. And as you see, he's even got artillery. So this would be, my guess is this is a maximum money game with no rules. So that's Kendi's army there. Hopefully this is going to be an interesting battle for you to watch. As you can see here, Kendi is deploying his troops onto the biggest hill in this on this map. Now I know a lot of us watching this will be thinking, oh well, that's what we call hill camping, but what we've all got to remember is that this is a brand new game, and all the players on it are brand new players to this game. So everybody's trying new things, new tactics, new strategies. I know that a lot of us watching this that's been playing this for years, it kind of seems strange looking back to 9 or maybe 10 years ago of when the game was brand new. But as I say, I know people call it hill camping now, but Kendi was a brand new player to RTW, and RTW was a brand new game. So everybody's trying different things. So it'll be interesting to see how the enemy does attacking this massive hill. At this very early stage of the battle, I thought I would just pause the game so we could have a look at the enemy's team. Now the enemy RTW player is called himself James III. Now, as you all know, we all changed our names on RTW when it first came out, so what he went on to call himself, I don't know, but in this game he's James the third. If you notice that all his elephants are fully upgraded, they had 9 banners on each unit. He's got pike units, he's got artillery units, and he's got the infamous, he's got more elephants up on there, but he's also got the infamous cataphract heavy tank cavalry as well. So, and every one of those Seleucid units is maxed out. I just wondered how many of us have actually fought a battle where we've actually played against fully upgraded elephants. Right, should be interesting to see. Should be a great game. Here you can see the Seleucid general is now attacking the hill with his elephants. There, did you see one of Kendi's artillery fire pots kill those 2 elephants there? And the elephants now are advancing steadily up the hill towards Kendi's Roman infantry there. Now remember, these elephants are fully upgraded. As I said earlier, I wonder how many of us have actually fought battles where we've actually fought against fully upgraded elephants. And there go the elephants, and bang! Can you see as they hit the Roman line there, how they throw the Roman legionnaires up in the air? They smash into them. That is some massive hit by those elephants. Of course, those of us that play 31k games all the time with the normal 31k rules, of course we don't come up against elephants, but you know, so that's why this is an unusual game for me to put on, really, as well as it being a 1v1 and so old. But it's different to see the elephants kind of fighting with the Roman troops there. It's amazing how high they throw some of those Roman troops up into the air. That's a real tussle going on at the hill there. Can you see how they charge into standing Roman units? Just like they're ploughing a field, isn't it? And they actually charge in and throwing them up in the air like that. And if you see, there's more Seleucid elephants on the way, just coming up on the left flank of the hill there. I'll tell you what, with the damage these elephants look like they're doing, it's almost like the battle could be over pretty quick. Can you see Kendi's brought his cavalry in there to counter-attack those elephants, but the main elephant reinforcements have got there now and are charging in. Can you see that the Seleucid general still firing his artillery pieces into the battle, but he has to be careful, obviously, because those artillery fire pots will kill both friend and foe together there. From what I can see here now, it looks like most of the elephants have now been routed. There's a few units still left fighting, but I think the majority of them have kind of been beaten at this stage. There's another elephant unit just routed there. If you noticed, there's another elephant unit just coming in there as well. Bang! See how it just throws those Roman legionnaires up in the air and just throw them all over the place. If you notice, the enemy artillery shells he's decided to use kind of are the fire pots instead of the boulders. You've got two choices when you use artillery. You can use the fire pots, which can be devastating when they hit a unit. I mean, they could take out half a Roman unit if it hits, but they're not very accurate. Or you can fire the boulders. Now these boulders are more accurate, but they do a lot less damage. So I noticed that at the moment the Seleucid general is deciding to use fire pots. If you notice, unfortunately for Kendi, both his artillery pieces were taken out by the elephants, so he no longer has artillery. Yes, he has a hill advantage, but he does not have his artillery there. So players watching this now, if you were that Seleucid general with your artillery still intact, what tactic would you use now if you want to take that hill? What do you think you would do? Can you see that elephant unit there running amok with its banner turned red above it? Remember when we've seen chariots run amok? They can be deadly to both friend and foe alike, and that's the same with the elephants. You see the fire pots hitting there? As I say, the fire pots can do a heck of a lot of damage. And now that Seleucid general, even though he's a new player to RTW, because as I say, it's a new game at this when this game was played. He's using his head here. He's not attacking. He's going to use his advantage of still having all his artillery left to bombard Kendi on his hill. So that's quite a good strategic move there. That's why I asked what you would do if you were the Seleucid general earlier. And I think that's the best thing to do. Soften up Kendi's infantry with his artillery before he attacks. Right, I'm just going to pause the game here for us to kind of take stock of the situation. As you can see, Kendi's still on the hill here. Now, what would you do if you were being bombarded by those artillery pieces? Would you put your troops into open order like you would like your pilot shield units? You know, you put them in open order so you get less casualties from the pilots. So do you think putting your infantry into open order and really spreading them out wide would cause you less casualties from those artillery fire pots? But of course, like I said, this is a new game. RTW is new at this stage and players are new, so players haven't looked at those tactics. As you can see, the fire pots, most of the fire pot shots will miss because they are so inaccurate. But when they do hit, if they can hit a tightly formed group of soldiers there, they will cause a lot of damage. Whereas I say the boulders, which you might see a bit later on, they're more accurate, but they do a lot less damage. Now, what would you do if you were the Roman general now, being bombarded by those artillery pieces? Would you just stand up there, or do you think you might even think about attacking the Seleucids there, rather than standing there and taking a bombardment? It's kind of just interesting to see what you would think there. Oh, shit. Stop. At this stage of the battle, you can see that the Seleucid general has sent his cavalry forward to take out that archer unit that was that had the range onto his pikemen from there. And now he's probably just going to back his cavalry off. Now he's taken that archer unit out. As you can see, the fire pots are still coming in onto Kendi's troops there, but the cavalry have withdrawn now. It'll be interesting to see how the Seleucids are going to attack this hill. Should be interesting to see. And now, at this stage of the battle, you can see that the Seleucid general has decided to attack Kendi's hill position. Now, if you notice now, can you see the boulders? The Seleucid general has changed from fire pots to boulders now. Can you see the damage that those boulders are doing as they hit? Now, if that had been a fire pot had hit that close formation there, that tight formation, it would have destroyed probably half of it, but the boulders don't tend to do that. And of course the fire pots also cause morale to drop, because it frightens the troops, obviously, that the fire pots are being fired at, so it does lower morale there. You can see the Seleucid cavalry there are charging into the standing Roman infantry, but Kendi spotted that and brought his cavalry forward there. If you notice that neither side of them have actually put their cavalry into wedge formation for the whole course of the battle, and that's probably because they haven't kind of done that yet. I'm just pausing the game here for us to have a look at there. Can you see that boulder in mid-air there? The artillery boulder. That's just thought I'd show you that. And that's what the artillery are using at the moment, is firing the boulders instead of the fire pots. And he's still got the 2 artillery left. But would you continue firing your artillery into the battle if you've got your friendly troops fighting there? Because those the artillery pieces are very inaccurate. Even the boulders that might be slightly more accurate than the fire pot are still not that accurate. And if you still keep shooting your artillery in, you're going to kill probably a lot of your own troops as well. But of course, as I say, at this stage, when we're playing this game is a new game. RTW is new at this stage, and the players are new as well. So everybody's exploring and discovering things about the game at this time. As you can see here, it looks like the heavy Seleucid cavalry are going to be beaten here by Kendi's cavalry. The downhill advantage for the Roman cavalry there, I think will tell. As you can see, Kendi's brought some infantry across to cover that Seleucid cavalry attacking the rear of his forces. That was a nice little move by the Seleucid general. And as I say, remember that both Kendi and this Seleucid general are new to the game. I'm starting to see some already good strategy from both of them. So it's nice to see. As you can see, the pike units are pushing forward, but Kennedy has managed to get his infantry and cavalry against those enemy cavalry that came in behind him, so that's quite good. If you notice, the Seleucid general's got 2 pike units that he's bringing up the hill now, that were just stood there. Also, probably, I mean, I don't know, but I would have thought that maybe they don't know that if you up your pikes, you can run with your pikemen, because you may well have wanted to get to that situation quicker. But once again, probably, as this is, as I say, it's a new game at the time, they weren't aware that if you put your pikes up, you could run your troops. It's all these things that we take for granted that we all know now, but of course, when you're a new player to a new game, you're still discovering things. And there you go, you can see that Seleucid pike unit there, attacking that Roman unit. If you notice, as the weight of all those pikemen start to bear down on that Roman unit, can you see that Roman unit being gradually pushed back by that pike unit there? The Roman unit still managing to stay intact, but it's gradually, slowly being pushed further and further back by that Seleucid pike unit. That goes to show how powerful that pike unit is, and the number of men in it, because you've got 120 men in that pike unit against I think it's about 80 in the Roman unit. So that's quite interesting to see how they're being pushed back. My guess is now Kennedy should take his cavalry round behind the fighting pike units here, if he can get them behind there, and maybe charge into those pike units in the rear. There you see, Kennedy's got his cavalry now behind those fighting pike units, so my guess is all he would need to do is charge into the back of them, and he would rout a lot of those Seleucid pike units there. And gradually you can see most of the Seleucid army has now been routed. You can see all the dead cataphract cavalry there, in almost a line across the edge of the hill there. And if you notice, there are some elephants there on the top of the hill that are black, and that's where they were hit by their own artillery fire pots. You'll find that the units that are hit by the fire pots and die tend to be blackened, obviously to show they're burning from the fire pots. But as you can see there, I think most of the there's a general, the Seleucid general, so I think probably one of the last Seleucid units left. And I would think that it would probably be routing quite soon up against all the Julii army that's left. And there it is.
The enemy general flees. Press forward so the spirit of his army is broken too.
So there you go. That's a battle from potentially 10 years ago, and possibly one of the oldest, if not the oldest, Rome Total War game on YouTube. And also, not only was it's the first 1v1 I've ever put onto Rome Total War, but also it was a hill battle as well, which also made it a bit different as well. So, and there you can see. I thought it was a great battle to watch from so long ago. So I'd just like to say well played to both players there, both James III and Kennedy there. That was I thought it was an interesting battle to watch from so long ago, and I really wanted to do something a bit different for our 100th. So like I said, it's the first 1v1 that I've ever put onto our BH Utube battle channel. Also, it's potentially 9 to 10 years old. So that makes it a bit different. I thought I'd just let you have a look at the battle statistics there of Kennedy's army. As you can see, the kills of his infantry and cavalry. If you notice, his onager, his artillery piece, if you notice, it's hardly got any kills at all, but that was because the enemy charged so quickly up with their elephants, and during the course of the elephant attack they managed to destroy the artillery piece. So that was a good move by the Seleucid general there. As I say, this was a very interesting battle, I think, from so long ago. And as I say, not only was it my first 1v1 battle I've put on, but I think it's the first hill battle that I've put on as well. So I hope you enjoyed our 100th BH Rome Total War battle, and bye for now.